Hello, Emily. How are you today?
Good, Dr. Marquina. How are you?
I'm good. How can I help you?
Well, lately my parents have pointed out that when they're with my twin boys, that they've noticed that there's a language delay. Personally, to me, I haven't picked up on anything. Everything seems fine, but my parents seem to be pretty adamant in the fact that they have a delay. And so I was just wanting to meet with you to see if that's possible, and if so, what you would recommend.
Okay, how old are your two boys?
They're 2 years old.
And what's your family history?
Both my husband and I are deaf, but I have a cochlear implant, but my husband doesn't use any form of amplification. Both the boys, however, are hearing, and there don't seem to be any impeding medical conditions.
What is the communication used within the household?
Most of the time we use ASL. I use speech on occasion, but do not feel as comfortable as when I'm using ASL. My husband only uses ASL and doesn't want to use speech. The boys mainly use ASL at home, and we started off teaching them ASL from birth. The amount of speech we use is limited, but the boys do visit with their grandparents at least twice a week, and their grandparents will only use speech.
Do you have worries about speech use with the boys, or is it more of a fear of using speech?
I just do not feel like I communicate well orally. It's easier for me to get my point across to the boys and communicate more effectively when I'm using ASL. This saves me the time only using ASL, and I know that I'm saying it correctly, so I know that it's understood. Their father is extremely hesitant for them to learn speech just because he does not communicate effectively through that. But both of us realize that they do need to have their speech because they will be attending public school in a couple of years.
I think it would be best for us to first test the boys to see if they have a language delay, and there are a series of tests that we can perform to access and evaluate their expressive and receptive language skills. This will help us to know if they have a delay and if it's the way they produce their speech or a misuse. It will then give us an idea to where they stand compared to their hearing peers.
Okay, so if they do have a delay, what could we possibly do to try and make sure they catch up to other children by the time they get to school?
Well, first it would be a good idea to expose them more to the hearing world, and it's beneficial for the twins to be with hearing peers for 5 to 10 hours a week. It's great that they spend time with your parents in order to get a good model for the correct and clear production of what speech should sound like. And it would also help them if they were enrolled in a play group that had hearing peers. And once again, they could serve as a peer model for the boys to make them have to use their speech in order to communicate with their peers.
Okay, is there anything personally I can do to help?
If you feel comfortable, you could use your speech as much as possible with the boys. It's hard for the boys to want to continue using speech when they know at home that they can use sign. After spending time with their grandparents, you can further try to sign and use oral speech for what they have just heard.
Okay, so should my husband and I just not sign to our children? Should we just put a pause on teaching them ASL until their speech gets to normal standards?
No, they're being exposed to 2 languages right now, and this will be extremely beneficial for both of the boys. This gives them the ability to participate in 2 different cultures and build those communication skills in 2 different languages.
Will they do okay in school if they continue to use sign, or will they have more of a challenge from those students who only use oral speech?
No, their background in both languages will not harm them in school. In fact, studies have shown that those children who know 2 languages perform similarly on vocabulary tasks as those who do not.
Have you known other families whose children use 2 languages, and how has it impacted that child's success in their education?
Yes, there's been a family whose native language is Spanish, and the parents felt more comfortable using Spanish with the child. She had a slight English language delay at first, but she's been very successful in her academic endeavors, and she even scored in a higher percentile on the receptive vocabulary test compared to the developmental norms of her age.
What about their confidence in using speech? How do we make them more confident in using their speech when I myself am not extremely confident?
Encourage the boys to use their best productions of speech and encourage them to use it as much as possible. The more speech they use and hear, the more comfortable they will feel in everyday situations.
What would you recommend for us now?
Have your children tested for language delays, and if so, if there is a language delay, provide a healthy environment where they can be exposed to hearing individuals that use speech frequently and simultaneously with ASL.
Will they be okay? Will my boys be all right?
They will have a chance to be a part of both the hearing and deaf communities, and this is a great opportunity for them to learn and also be fluent in 2 languages. This could be a major benefit to their lives.
Can I come back and see you if I have any more questions?
Of course, you can always contact me in my office with any questions.
Thank you so much for your time and answering all my questions.
Of course, hope to hear from you soon, and let me know if there's anything else that you need.
Thank you.